My name's Ursula Dutkiewicz. I'm a ceramic artist. I was born in South Australia in Adelaide. Dad was part of the influx of post-war immigrants, and he was already an artist. He'd been helped in the Polish resistance and found himself in a displaced persons camp, and he came to Adelaide. My mother was the immigrant worker and she took migrants into the home, and that's how my mum and my dad met. As soon as we could paint, as little children, we were given paintbrushes, and it was a very exciting time in Adelaide's history. It was a very conservative town, and there was my father. He had seen the work of Kandinsky's and had spent a year at the Paris Art School and had so much experience that he brought to the Adelaide art scene. I prefer that. My father drank a lot. As I grew into teenagehood, it was very difficult times. When my brother was painting cartoons on the walls of our house, I was painting women's symbols, much to the horror of the rest of the family. And at that point it was, why do you hate men so much? I said, I don't hate men, I actually just don't like the male system, the patriarchal system. So that's where it all took off, and to this day I'm still doing that, but in different ways. I moved over the road on my 17th birthday into a communal household. They were quite wild times and we were very free. People moved in and we had a wonderful women's household. I started hanging around in pubs that a lot of women frequented, the lesbian bars. I decided that that's what I wanted to pursue in my life. Then I found the political feminist crowd, and I was really excited about that. I remember walking into a pub and seeing a woman drumming, and I was really excited because women in those days there weren't many musicians around. You could count them on one hand, basically. I then found my way into a women's band. It was very political in those days. I decided I'll try for art school. I'm enjoying doing this. And I was sitting there with my painted terracotta pots, and the ceramic teachers came past and said, "You are going to do ceramics, aren't you?" And I just nodded my head and said, "Yes, of course I am." And that's how I got in. And then I found clay was my thing. I'm actually making a commission for someone. I had a commission to make these cockatoos to go up on the top of a building. And someone saw it and asked me if I would make them 10. So this is the first one, and they're going to be a surprise for someone as presents later in the year. And I'm very happy to be making it, and I'll lift it so you can see what it's going to look like. That's what it's looking like. So it'll shrink 10%, 14% possibly, so it'll be a bit smaller than this. But it'll be able to hang on the wall. Clay is the most versatile, amazing, amazing, amazing material. I love it. Being a little kid playing with mud for me. Various heights. Touching it, squishing it, pressing it, pounding it. It's because you can do so much with it, but your hands are in it. Not everyone loves everything you do, but you find a home for everything, or they remain with me. Failure is one of your biggest teachers. It's fantastic. Fail away. Fail away and we learn. I remember my life, the last 30 years, through the different projects and things that I've created. So I like that's my memory. I create really varied things. I've always said yes to everything, and that has led me into community arts. It's led me into my own expression and photography, and now even environmental art. These little red ones I started gifting out into the world just as an act of love. And then this year I decided I had to turn them green, and they plant trees. So they fund the planting of trees through Tree Sisters, and their aim is to reforest the tropics. Each heart I sell for $20 plants 40 trees. It's so simple to plant trees. I've funded the planting of thousands of trees. Women all over the world are getting on board. It's a reforestation revolution fueled by the love and generosity of women around the world. In the next couple of years, tree planting is going to become one of the major ways of helping turn the planet around. This is what the Green Hearts help with. The tree is life. Ta-da! Work that one out. With the clay you go so deep, you know, and there's so many processes involved. It's not just one thing like painting. You sit there and paint. With clay you have to make, and you have to keep coming back to it. It's going to dry, and then you're going to have to fire it, and then you might have to glaze it, and then you have to pack it in a kiln, and then you have to get it out of the kiln. So each time for me is not a labour, it's just a love, touching it each time. And all those processes, they're fantastic each step of the way. I really enjoy being on my own. My art is my passion and my focus, but I'm also open to whatever happens in my life. For me, clay, when I'm using it, I'm playing with it. That's very much the joy of it for me. And now I love teaching it, and I find it easy. And because I was given creativity as a gift as a child with no restraints, I find it very easy to be creative and to share that with people.